like, is this going to change how people act, or is because they were oppressed, now are they going to feel like they have freedom, so they might not act in the correct way they should act? Or is it going to be like, oh, we're free, we could do whatever we want? Or are they sincerely willing to work together to do something better?
There's actually some of all of what you said. The workers, as Betty said, that they have been demanding all kinds of demands in the past, and some of them they got, and some of them they did not. And now they say this is our time, so they just stop working, and they say we'd like to have our salary multiplied by 4 times, and we would like to have the salary equal to the salary of the boss, of the chief engineer, or whatever it is, because why not? They can push like that, and they think that this is the time where things are shaking, the aftershocks, and they will get what they want, or at least they will get as more now than they will ever get in the future. And then there are the people that are trying to find a new position in the new setting, some of the old guard, that they are trying to appear as if they really are supporting the revolution and they really want to do something, so they speak about themselves, and the louder they speak, they think the better they will be. And so there is some of that, but this is all part of these tawabi, and aftershocks. All of it is like that. So until things settle, until the country is established by a presidential presence, and then the government begins to move.
And I was going to say the same thing, that you do see a pushing back. You see a pushing back of the military, you see a pushing back of the older forces. So you have, for example, bans on demonstrations that were passed about a month ago. So this is definitely, I like the aftershock analogy, because it is a repositioning, because those who have had power in some form or another want to hang on to it, but they understand they can't have it in the exact same position they've had before. You definitely have a military elite, you have a civilian elite, and how are they going to position themselves in these new political parties? You know, the old party, National Party, has been dissolved. How will it reconstitute itself? So I think it's going to be, how far can the old regime keep pushing back? And then, as we've seen with Tunisia as well, people are still going out in the streets. People are still demanding. Mubarak and his 2 sons are under arrest right now, as are a number of the very top old regime people, to find out about the corruption. You know, I don't think the military wanted to do that initially, but because these demonstrators and the revolutionaries have been pushing in the other direction. So I don't know, September and the elections aren't going to solve everything, but we're going to have another election, say 4 years from now, that we're going to keep seeing. But there's going to be a push and pull to see how far the old regime can push back, and how far the new actors can push them back.
Dr. Farouk, thank you so much for the very optimistic and sobering analysis. So one of the wonderful things about the revolution is the amount of energy that young people show, that you talked about, and the very decentralized form of this revolution. And a lot of people believe that for Egypt to go forward, we need to take this energy and apply it somewhere, not just in politics and political campaigning and all that, but also in a development. And you've had a very interesting idea of a development project, the corridor of development. And I'm very interested to know a couple of things. So there are a number of arguments that were made that I would love to hear your perspective on. One of them was the idea that the age of mega projects is over. And that, you know, the very decentralized and energetic form of Egyptian society today, especially after the revolution, won't be in the best medium to allow everyone to make their own initiatives in a project with that scale that requires a lot of infrastructure work. And I'm very actually enthusiastic about the development corridor. I'm thinking from the perspective of someone who likes the project but wants to understand this part of it. The other argument that's sometimes framed is that if we wanted to focus our urban development and make it like a mega project that would completely change the face of Egypt in the next 20 years, wouldn't it make more sense to focus on Sinai, this wonderful heaven that has, you know, been underdeveloped for years and years and years, and is not, it's practically doesn't get anything from the central state? So I'd love to hear your ideas about that. Thank you.
Very good questions, and there are 2 bits of information that answer your question. The first one is the fact that Egypt today, and for the last 20 years, has been losing